fear the Seahawks like I feared the Eagles. But I thought higher of Jalen Hurts in a big game than I ever will with Sam Darnold. I have zero fear of that quarterback on the other side. Zero. And I think most Niner fans are with me there. The experience factor, I think, would give me the edge taking the 49ers over the Seattle Seahawks. Like, that is the one reason why I would take them in this game. If we're not looking at, the names and the health of all the players, you just be the coach and the quarterback. Like, that would be it. But that's not all what a football game is, right? Sam Darnold on the other side, Joe, he could have the game of his life tomorrow. And you know what? If Sam Darnold plays well, the Niners are losing. Like, that's how I feel. If Sam Darnold has a good game, doesn't turn the ball over, I don't see how the 49ers go in. You have to make him uncomfortable.
The experience thing is so spot on. And it works in both directions. Sometimes when you have all this negativity in the playoffs, it actually works against you.
Yeah.
And I feel like Aaron Rodgers, it got harder and harder and harder, and it's almost suffocating in the playoffs. Look at Lamar.
Yeah.
It feels like his lack of success is just weighing on him.
Josh Allen, to an extent.
Yeah. You see this a lot in baseball because the sample sizes are so small. Like A-Rod, just like the struggle bus.
Kershaw for the longest
100%.
time. You just felt it like even very first week of the playoffs. And it's just like, dude, you were just like an MVP Cy Young. Just gives it up.
Basketball. Chris Paul. James Harden.
Yeah.
It's suffocating. Conversely, when you have success in the playoffs, I think it goes in the other direction.
Yeah.
I think a lot about, I always bring this game up. The 2011 49ers NFC Championship game against the New York Giants. You just can't tell me that Eli being in that other Super Bowl and that whole run that he went on, like his experience wasn't the difference in him hanging around, throwing balls away. Grant was talking about, hey, Purdy needs to play this game similar to the way he played the Cleveland game. He had 5 throwaways in that game. Purdy did. One of the things I always say to people, like, you could look at the box score all you want about that 2011 NFC Championship game. What impressed me about Eli, we kept hitting him. He kept getting up. And he kept not taking sacks and just getting rid of the ball. And it was demoralizing. Oh, my God, we're going to sack him. And then he throws it away. Or he skips one into the ground or whatever.
He's tough, man.
And I look at this game with Purdy and with Darnold. I don't think you can turn the ball over twice in this game and win. I think this game's very different from last week's game. I think ball security, that doesn't mean, you could go 3 and out. You can go 5-6 plays and then punt the ball. I don't think you can give them short fields. I think he's got to play a similar game that Eli did where you got to throw the ball away. You cannot take sacks in this one. They've got to be at third and manageable.
It's so funny because for the longest time, and I know they had a playoff game against Geno Smith when he was the quarterback, but for the longest time, the player you feared was Russell Wilson to make something out of nothing.
The longer the play went on, the more I feared him.
Conversely, it's the opposite with Sam Darnold. Like, the longer he has to hold on to the ball, it's like, he might make a mistake.
Exactly.
So it's funny how we're viewing these teams now because there's just zero remnants of that Legion of Boom squad remaining here in Seattle, obviously. Maybe there's some assistant coaches, I have no idea. But as far as the players go, I think Bobby Wagner's the only one, and he's over in Washington now, right?
Jerron Reed's been there about 9 or 10 years. I don't think he was a part of the. No, but I'm saying like he's been there a long time.
Sure.
We were not good when he first came into the league.
Correct.
He might be their longest tenured guy.
It's pretty crazy, right? And I'm looking at this 49ers team. The one guy that has been healthy and has stayed healthy, Christian McCaffrey. He needs to get it going somewhat. You need to establish somewhat of a respectable run game, right, Joe? Like,
I'd like to see Brian Robinson get touches in this game.
Yeah, well, last time he played, I should say, because he didn't have a carry last game against the Eagles, but against the Seahawks, he had 2 carries for 9 yards. It's 2.
Well, you rewatch the Niner-Eagle game. One thing that they did when Kittle was out of the game, I don't know if it works against this front, but they went 2 tight ends, Farrell and Tonjes, and Juice on a lot of first and second downs. So I wonder if that's going to be something they utilize a little more. This whole division has gone 2 tight end sets.
Yeah.
But, except Arizona. But, that's what I would, it's basically a 3 tight end set with Juice.
It is.
And, how big is Juice going to be a part of this particular game plan? I think Brian Robinson's got to get touches.
How are the 49ers winning this game, Niner fans? No Bosa, no Fred Warner, no George Kittle. And speaking of no Fred Warner, this is what Kyle Shanahan had to say at the podium for injuries for the game.
All right, guys. Injuries for the game. Jair Brown will be out. Ricky Purcell, questionable. Luke Gifford, questionable. D. Winters, questionable. Fred Warner out. Jacob Cowing, questionable.
All right, so he listed him as out, and he was also asked if Warner's presence has lifted the energy of the overall team this week.
I don't pay attention much to that. I mean, he was an individual and stuff, so I don't really, in the meetings and everything, anytime Fred's around, they feel it. So, love having Fred around.
Okay. All right. It's just a cupcake question. You could have said, yeah, everyone's feeling great. It's awesome. And he's like, I don't know. Shanahan's at the stage where he's like, I'm not going to BS anyone. Like, I have no idea. I kind of respect that, actually. Shanahan, for as salty as he is, like, I respect him. He just says it, man. He does.
Outside of a Super Bowl, is this the win that could be as big? Like, up until this point, would this be the biggest win of his career?
I thought
for him personally.
Possibly.
I still think last week's would trump this one only because of the opponent and where you were. I think it is harder to play in Philadelphia with those 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and they were the defending champions.
And this is the number one seed that's had 2 weeks off that just crumbled.
Yeah, but I don't fear the Seahawks like I feared the Eagles. I might be wrong. Like, are people viewing it differently? 888-957-9570.
I think their defense is better than the Eagles. I think it's pretty obvious.
But I thought higher of Jalen Hurts in a big game than I ever will with Sam Darnold. That's the difference for me. I have zero fear of that quarterback on the other side. Zero. And I think most Niner fans are with me there.
I've done that with Darnold
He's going to be scam Darnold. I'm telling Joe.
Ever since that Viking game.
Joe, when you're there sitting tomorrow and he throws that interception, I need you to text scam Darnold in the chat. That's what you need to immediately do. And he'll put a smile.
I'm not a Darnold fan.
I know you're not.
The irony is, like, I never wanted him.
Scam Darnold.
What do you mean,
I don't know. You and I had some conversations last year about Sam Darnold.
No, I thought he would get an opportunity to play.
Well, is Drew Lock going to play tomorrow? Sam Darnold's listed as questionable.
Here's the thing. Sam, remember.
It's not Jalen Milroe. It is Drew Lock.
Bashed him going into that week 2 game with the Vikings. Remember that?
You did.
Then he utterly dismantled us. He made 2 of the best throws I've ever seen.
I think we have a rant still in the system, Kenny. If you're in the back, just look up Shasky Darnold in the Wide Orbit, where Wide Orbit is our library of cataloged cuts.
Was this before?
This is before the game. I'm pretty sure I cut you talking about Sam Darnold.
And afterwards, I guess, I can't.
It might be there.
Smack.
It might be there. It might not. We'll effort it. In the meantime,
I destroyed him. Well, I also watched him get dismantled by Carson Wentz week 17 or week 18. Remember that?
Yeah.
He looked terrible.
The plays that he made in that game, obviously the ones to Justin Jefferson, some of the throws, the runs he had on that drive, that was the difference of the game.
Greg, whatever the Odom guys
and
was.
Fred Warner kept them in that game. They had no business being in it.
Sick
it was so good. Didn't he fracture his ankle in that game too?
No.
No, like it came out. I think it might have been in that game, like maybe, later on. It doesn't matter.
He forced a big turnover in the red zone. It was going to be, he like punched the ball out on a screen. It was going to be way worse.
Dude, let's take a step back. We're dismissing the Seattle Seahawks, who are the number 1 overall seed, best defense in football, best defensive mind in football, Mike McDonald. The Niners don't have Bosa, Warner, and Kittle, and we're all saying, whatever, fine. I think that win over the Eagles, I think showed a lot of people like, hey, we could do it. Now, I will caution everyone, the Eagles on the dumpster fire scale, we're kind of like close to it for a team that can make the playoffs. For a playoff level of a dumpster fire, if that's such a thing, you could like overcome that. They have their own problems with their OC, with their head coach and wide receiver. Jalen Hurts is always something going on him. They have their own problems in Philadelphia. This is a more buttoned up Seahawks team leading into this week than that Eagles team last week. Can we agree on that? Can we?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, come on. It's like Kubiak, the OC. He's getting head coaching opportunities. Yeah, exactly. Like, so let's calm down. I will say this though, as I just kind of laid all the facts that we shouldn't overlook them. The quarterback is a big deal. It is, and if Sam Darnold, like if he is compromised in any way, that's a big deal. Well, like that, no oblique, Joe. That's how you turn your body.
I know.
Like that's a big injury.
I think stopping the run is the biggest deal for the Niners. I asked Robert Saleh this week. He's like, third down. Third down is what really cost us in the last game. You gave up 180 yards on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You can't give up 180 yards on the ground in a playoff game. You're going to lose.
I think most people are saying, just have that same defensive performance you had against the Seahawks. No.
I think he needs to be better. I think you need to light up Darnold, and I think you need to stop the run.
Well, because we're all saying there's no way the Niners score only 3 points, but I think there's no way the Seahawks only score 13. They got to score more than that. So that's what I'm like. It goes both ways here when we talk about both of these squads. I don't think it's going to be some shootout, mind you, but I don't see 13-3, defensive struggle again.
If it's in the 20s.
I just don't think the Niners team could also just hold another team below like 10 points. I just don't think that defense has what it takes.
But if it's in the 20s, body-wise, do you like that for the Niners?
Yeah, because I think that they showed that last week, right? Yeah, I like that for the Niners. I don't like they can win shootouts. We've seen that. If it turns into one, that favors San Francisco as far as I'm concerned. If this goes into like the high 20s and 30s, which I hammer the over if you think that's going to happen, that favors the Niners. 13-3, physical pound style, that favors the Seattle Seahawks. We just saw that a couple weeks ago, right?